Street Sharks is back. It is the 30th anniversary for this Jossum toy line, and these are figures that I grew up with in the 90s. Unfortunately, these were some of the ones that didn't make it. My mom got rid of these, as well as like my Extreme Dinosaurs and a few other things, but I'm happy to now have some re-releases of these figures. So let's unbox these, break them down, and see what they have to offer. So far, these are the only 3 characters that Mattel has brought back for the 30th anniversary. Each of them costs $24.99, and they can be found on multiple websites, so Mattel Creations, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, Amazon, Walmart, I believe. So far, none of these have been found in store, so I'm not sure if this is going to be like an online exclusive, but regardless, I'm going to put all the links in the description below. I am over the moon about this packaging. I mean, what an epic throwback to the original 90s Street Sharks. So much so that I ended up buying a second Ripster to keep sealed just because it's absolutely beautiful. Now, if you go to the Mattel Creations website, they have a lot more than just these figures. They have like some hoodies and I think a few t-shirts, a cap. Then they also announced the San Diego Comic-Con Ripster as like Pool Shark. He has a leather jacket, like a pool cue and all that kind of stuff. So epic. I will actually be attending San Diego Comic-Con, so I will be on the hunt for that one. I will also be posting updates, glam shots, and a whole bunch of other things from the con as well. The back of the packaging has a description of each character and what they can do, as well as like a little bio. So this one for Ripster says, motto is bite is might. The natural born leader of the Street Sharks. He's bull, he's tough, he's a wild-blooded hero with a fist like a freight train. That's pretty awesome. Each of them have their own like little bios, and I'll post some close-ups of them towards the end of the video so you can give them a good read. Each of them have a little cutout right here where you can do the try me action. Press down the fin, his mouth opens up with a bite attack. Pretty awesome little detail that they put up here is they have a fin, and it has a 30th anniversary little logo with like a little holographic print. So that's actually pretty sweet. Out of the packaging, well, at least kind of, they do have their little plastic cages, which is awesome. You can tell that they have been revamped, and the entire cage actually disassembles. So we'll take Ripster out here, for example. So it kind of latches in this way, and you can just basically open this entire thing up. What's great, too, is you don't have to display them sitting down in the cage. There is plenty of head clearance for them to be standing in it. You can totally break this down just like the original. There is hooks that connect to like bar pieces here. So if you wanted to take this off, disassemble it, and just stow it away for storage purposes, then you can totally do that. Now, what really sets these apart from the original ones is going to be an updated sculpt, better paint applications, and added articulation. So if you handled Street Sharks or if you grew up with them, then you know they were very limited, fixed joints at the elbows, at the knees, but there is added articulation to each of these, which is very exciting to have these types of characters updated with articulation. Slash does have his original play feature, which is a switch on the back. Push that down and that drill just gets going. Freaking awesome looking. You can see there is a metallic, kind of like pearlescent finish to this drill. Looks beautiful. You can see there's some like metallic coating up here. I mean, the paint applications updated are absolutely fantastic. You can see there's some sculpted scales. Just looks beautiful. The added articulation here at the wrist as well as the bicep. And then here's a good look at that drill from the front. Awesome, super sturdy feeling. I mean, all these figures out of the packaging have felt very solid. The joints so far feel nice and stiff. Nothing feels loose at all. So let's break this down. Starting at the shoulders, we have, it looks like hinges and a swivel. So I can bring that arm, dang, up pretty high. That's incredible. That's awesome. I think the original ones was just like a little ball, joint in there. So you can only, a swivel. So you can only like spin it around. So we can do that same thing here. And then at the elbow, I can go all the way straight down. And then I can also bend that about 90 degrees. That's so awesome, man. Oh, what? This is just giving me so many vibes from my childhood. And then here we go. We have some flexion here moving up and down. And then we should have a swivel as well. Looks epic. So I can take that wrist and just get some awesome poses out of this. This is so cool. Oh my gosh, I am loving this so far. I mean, these claws are deadly. I mean, Slash for a reason. I mean, that's wild. If I move down here at the hips, you can see there is a ball joint there, so I can bring those legs outwards a great amount. Wow, that's awesome. And then forward and backwards, I can get some running motion out of this. And there is a knee joint, which is pretty great. So I should be able to take that leg, bend it out, and then, oh my gosh, going straight forward, no problem. These are supposed to be 6-inch figures. I mean, we'll do some measurements here in a little bit, but I don't know. I think he's measuring a little bit taller than 6 inches. So bending it forward and backwards. Let's see if we have a... Oh, we do have a swivel too. Okay, so I can rotate that leg or that knee inwards and outwards. And then here at the ankle, same type of treatment. We have a hinge and swivel. So I'm getting a little bit of movement here. Nothing too crazy because like these little scales and stuff get in the way. But nonetheless, there is some movement going on there. And then let's see. Yeah, I should be able to... I can spin this foot around. And that looks awesome. So cool to have updated joints on these figures. Our last area of articulation is going to be here at the torso. I can take this body and spin it around. I could probably spin it a full 360. Oh yeah, no problem whatsoever. That's great. Overall, really loving what they've done with this figure. I mean, that added articulation is just wild. So awesome. Let's move on to, how about Jab? We'll save Ripster for last. So we have Jab in the case, in the little cage. Take this on out. And what's cool about the actual Street Sharks here is they have a real feel type of material all across like the head right here and even like the abs and stuff. So that's pretty awesome. So his fin, his dorsal fin can open up, and that is his mouth action there. You can see they updated like the teeth. There's like more serrations and like sculpting to them, and that's awesome looking. The eyes and the paint applications there look great. There is no bleed to them, and overall in real life I do like hammerhead sharks. I think they're awesome looking. You can see he's pretty yoked out in his back. Here's more of that real feel right there, which is awesome. Very cool. Like his original play feature, he does have some jabbing motion. So his yoked out bicep right here at the right arm, you take this backwards, and then his eyes will extend forward, and there's like some exposed bones right there. That's crazy looking. So you take this arm back, and then boom, he'll do a jab forward. So that's awesome play feature. So cool, man. What a like an uppercut. And let's do like an actual like off to the side type of jab this way. Let's see here. And, oh man, I wouldn't want to be hit in the face by a yoked out 90s hammerhead shark. Everything about this figure so far feels nice and sturdy. I don't have any loose joints, so this is so awesome. I just can't get over like just the jaw motion here, and then just like being able to do that whole jabbing hitting motion. So he does have the added articulation, especially here at the elbow. I think his previous one was a fixed elbow, so I should be able to take this arm, bend it a good 90 degrees. It looks solid. No real exposed joints here, only when you open it up to the elbow, the antecubital portion here. So I can bring that forward 90 degrees, and I can go straight down, and then here at the wrist, forward and backwards. Grabbing another enemy by the head here, and then just taking this fist and just boom, uppercut right there. So that's pretty cool. So forward and backwards, catching a punch if you wanted to. I mean, Jab can do it all. Up and down, and I can swivel this wrist around. So awesome. His punching arm will get the exact same treatment. Now, I can adjust how far I want his reach to be, basically. So here at the shoulder, I can click it backwards, and I can do like, you know, quick jabs this way if I wanted to, and then I can click it forward and just kind of have him extend out more. And what's great is he does have that added elbow and wrist joint, so I can get some added poses here and, you know, do some body shots or some uppercuts that way if I wanted to. How big of a difference like just these added joints, you know, give this figure, like all that extra playability. Moving on down to his torso, he does have the same action as Slash. It is a swivel joint, so you can spin that all the way around. And then just below that at the hips, we have some more ball and socket joints, so I can bring those legs out to pretty much the splits, no problem. And then I can bring them on in. We do some running motion, that sort of deal. Looks great. And then below that, we do have a knee joint as well, so I can take this leg and I can flex it forward a little bit. Ooh, actually a pretty good amount. And then going backwards as well. Nice stiff joints. I am just loving this so much. His last area of articulation is going to be here at this ankle boot area, so I don't really have anything going on forward or backwards. I mean, just some movement here, but I do have a swivel joint, so that's great. Last but not least, we have our leader of the Street Sharks, Ripster. So excited about this figure. He looks great. So from an appearance standpoint, everything looks true to what we've seen within our previous Street Sharks. He has that real feel all throughout his body. Looks great, feels great. You can see like the scars right there, just that menacing look. And then here at the teeth, they updated it with some serrations and extra grooves. I mean, that looks a lot cooler. I mean, definitely a lot deadlier there. And these are also kind of like a rubber material, kind of like the previous Street Sharks for sure. Moving to his back, he has freaking lats for days, and then it's more of that real feel all throughout. Crazy details, a good transition from hard plastic to a real feel. Here at his fin, we have that action where he's able to open up his mouth. So pretty traditional, pretty straightforward, just like Jab. Push it on down, and that mouth will open up and just devour any enemies that he sees. He, of course, does have that epic articulation, hinges and swivels at the shoulders, bringing those on up for some lateral raises. We can bring them on down, and then if we wanted to, we could take this shoulder, spin it all the way around, no problem. And then moving on down to the elbow, same treatment, hinges and swivels. I could take this arm, flex it on forward, and we get, let's see here, about 90 degrees, and then I can straighten it out all the way. No hyperextension, but that is a-okay. And then we can also take this entire forearm, spin this baby around. Looks great. Nice, solid, sturdy joints. At his wrist, same thing going on. Hinge and swivel. I can flex this arm backwards, and I can bring it on forward. That's great. And then swivel joints going around. His gimmick, his action feature is going to be here at the torso. So Jab and Slash had just a single swivel joint. This is a spring-loaded, spring-operated, able to punch and beat up from either side. I can twist it to the right, I can twist it to the left, and either way he's going to be doing some damage. For play purposes, I can take this arm, get it in a punching motion, take this dorsal fin right here, twist the torso, and then boom, hit Slash right in the face. A very deadly and functional play feature. Now, I can do even more damage if I take this arm, bring it out this way, and then do the twisting motion, and then boom, do like a clothesline type of thing. I definitely wouldn't want to be on the business end of Ripster. As we move on down, he does have the ball and socket joints, same type of treatment as the rest of the figures. Let's see if we can get him into the splits. Looks like if I just kind of rotate around a little bit, oh yeah, he can do the splits no problem. And could you imagine this, just sitting down and just like, ha-cha-cha! Super cool, super fun. And then here at the knee, we have the same type of deal going on. We can flex it back, bring it on forward, and then we do have that swivel joint so I can rotate this baby around. Now, if you position it just right, I'm sure you can get him kind of in a walking motion. He is a little top heavy, so you may have to kind of finagle him just right, or you may even have to put some of that like tacky putty down to keep him from falling over. But yeah, you can definitely get him in a walking motion. Then down at his boots, we have a little bit of movement going forward and backwards. Nothing too crazy, but that is a-okay. And then we do have some swivel action, so I can take this boot, rotate it from side to side. In conjunction with these 3 joints or 4 joints here, that will allow you to get him in some of that running or kind of walking poses. I mean, how menacing is this? Could you imagine him just coming after you like that? Jeez. Y'all know how much I love my comparisons, so it kills me to not be able to have my originals as a kid. But as far as measurements go, I would say Ripster is definitely the tallest, so under 7 inches, but definitely over 6. Since there's the added articulation at the arms, let's take a look at reach. So Slash is about 9 inches, and then Jab is a little bit less than that, just under 9 inches. And then our leader, Ripster, is at a whopping 9 inches. What a treat to be talking about Street Sharks. The 30th anniversary, Mattel really knocked this one out of the park. I mean, they stayed true to the original sculpting, design, and scheme of Street Sharks while still adding an immense amount of articulation, some updated paint apps, and then little details here and there. Each one of these will cost you $24.99, and I will post all the links in the description below. This was perfect for me as a kid or a collector who used to have Street Sharks, used to watch the shows all the time, and then ended up not having my figures anymore. I mean, the traditional story of your parents getting rid of all your stuff. This really hit home, and it's just very special to me. Hopefully, we get the rest of the characters. I'm sure we will. I mean, they did showcase a bunch of them within their, like, advertisement, so I'm sure it is just a matter of time. An item I would love to see be re-released is going to be those, like, plush hand puppets. They made one of Ripster and Streaks, and I thought those were so cool. I never had one as a kid, but I remember always wanting one. All in all, if you're a fan of Street Sharks, you gotta add these to the collection. I think you'll definitely be pleased. But that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram and TikTok to stay up to date when new things drop, like the rest of the Street Sharks and also the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I also post toy photography and toy videos. Until then, collectors, stay jawsome, and I will see y'all in the next video.